Hey, out in the garage today, and I've got these little Acorn solar powered light things for the front of the house. I wanted to make a little concrete footing. I found that 3/4 inch PVC will actually fit around that really snugly. So what I'm gonna do is take some old containers for breakfast drinks, cut off the tops, fill them with concrete, put a little piece of PVC down in them, and make a little footing for them to have to stabilize them a little bit so they don't shift in the dirt when it gets wet or get hit by, the lawnmower or whatever, people bumping it. Should be fun. Let's go. So first up, we need to cut the top off of this so we can use it as a little form for our concrete. There you go. So now we've got a little square form that we'll be able to put this down in and have a little concrete footing, something a little sturdier than just putting it in the dirt. Now let's do that a few more times. Now for the concrete, I'm going to try using this leftover Golden Chick. This video is not sponsored by Golden Chick, but I'm going to use this leftover styrofoam cup to mix up some concrete. It looks like I'm going to have to do several batches because this is about the same size. So get some concrete, add a little water, and mix it up until it's about the right thickness. You don't want it to be too thick. I think they say something kind of like thick peanut butter or something like that, but it needs to be pretty solid. I've done this before, and you just don't want it real watery. Let's go add some concrete. Okay, so that didn't work so well. It started poking through there because, as you can imagine, this little trowel is much sharper than this soft styrofoam. So I've got this old paint bucket, and I'm going to use that instead. That'll also make it easier for me to mix it up. So okay, so this is a little soupy. I'm going to add a little bit more dry stuff to it because I put in a little too much water. That's always what you got to be careful about, especially in these small batches, is you can't add very much water because it doesn't take very much to moisten it up. I did too much. So I'm going to add a little bit more of the dry stuff and we'll get it mixed up. So that's all right. It's not quite as maybe dry as I'd like it, but it'll just go in a little soupy and it may just take a little longer to set up. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not filling these quite to the top because I need to put the little piece of PVC down in there, and I've got a little trick for making sure that the concrete doesn't come up through it. I'll show you that in a second. Let me finish filling these up. Okay, that's something. They're all kind of filled up a little bit in there, most of the way to the top. So then what I'm going to do is take this PVC pipe, and I'm actually going to take a little piece of plastic wrap and cover up the bottom side of it. Just wrap it around there. And then I'll just shimmy it, twist and push, I guess, maybe as a more accurate description, and I'm just going to push that down in there, kind of press the form a little bit to kind of push the concrete up and around, and I'm just going to get that down in there as much as I can until it is about level. And you can see the plastic wrap really just holds in the concrete. It's strong enough, it can stretch and push down and get down in there. And then that makes a little form that we'll unwrap them in a little bit. So I'm just gonna do that a few more times, and then I will let them sit for a couple of days to just make sure they've really set up. And here we are, all done. They've set up now for a day. This is basically from yesterday. So I'm gonna grab some gloves and then I'm gonna start peeling these back. Now you could just bury them just exactly like this and just use them that way. Or you could peel them back just till, oh, a little soft still, just until the top is revealed and just use them like this. Or you can peel them all the way like I'm going to do, just to make it a little cleaner. I don't know if it really matters, or just have it down in the ground a little more. But I'm gonna unwrap them just because I don't want to bury the paper, and it'll eventually deteriorate probably in the ground. And so as you can see, it's only been a day, so these haven't set up maybe as much as they would if I let them go for multiple days, but I just wanted to get these done for you. And since I had the time, you can see the divot on the bottom from where the container was folded forms that. So these will be nice little footings for those lights that I've got. So there you go, all cleaned up. Well, removed from their containers. Have to clean up some of this junk. You can see you could leave it in those, you could take them out. I took them out, you could let it set up a little longer. This is after just about a day. It's not exactly designed for this kind of use, but as you can see, it works pretty well, and this will hold up a little better than just burying them in the dirt. This will provide something a little more sturdy for those pipes to sit in, for those little lights to sit in. And here's what they look like all installed. You can see the little footings down there, and I kind of covered up with some dirt. This one's been there for just a little while. You can see the light just goes right down in there, and it'll hold it sturdy. And so it's a little sturdier than just being in the dirt. So there's a quick tip of a way to use concrete to make little footings for your outdoor solar lights. You can see some of them, maybe I didn't bury quite as much, but they work just the same. So I'll add those few more and finish out the set. Have a good one, everybody.